Okay, I think we'll get started now. Hello, my name is Ann Morgan. I'm one of the co-founders for the 100+ Women Who Care, and we'll be hosting tonight's meeting along with Ann Glesner, Susie Cotter, and Natalie Morgan. A couple of things. This is a webinar, so we can't see or hear you. And we've turned closed captioning on. So in your control panel, if you see a CC, you can put subtitles on if you'd like. So you can play with that a little bit. And I see some people are getting used to chat and using that. It's fun to see where everybody's chiming in from. And so please use the chat and Q&A for questions. Natalie's gonna monitor that for us tonight. And if you're watching with the group, let us know how many people are in your group or who's with you. We kind of are curious if people are getting together with friends as they watch this. So welcome everyone to our January meeting. And welcome to our new members. We had people signing up today. It was really exciting. So, and thank you for joining us virtually. We have high hopes to be seeing everybody in person in April. And thank you for joining us to support our Door County community and to support one another. We are gathered here today and we are supporting and lifting up the women that are going to present their nonprofits. And that's really exciting. So thank you for that. And speaking of the nonprofits, thank you to all the nonprofit representatives for your time and joining us tonight. We really appreciate that. And a thank you to the vetting committee and the meeting planning committee for tonight's meeting. All the work that goes into this is wonderful. We've got a great team, so thank you all. Our agenda for tonight is well, I can let you just read through it. The big change that I wanted to point out is we're going to do the announcing of the awards at the end of our meeting, just to allow more time for our tally of the ballots. And we want to thank Spot. Yanni Bexel from Spot has been with us since day one, and we just have a huge amount of gratitude for her support. So thank you, Yanni. Really appreciate that. And thank you to the Door County Community Foundation. They help facilitate our payment processing so that you can pay by credit card if you want to. And excuse me, it's just been a huge help for us, what the work that they're doing for us. Our mission is to connect like-minded women to make a meaningful contribution to our local community. And supporting that are our core values, which can easily be remembered by community first. And there's more about these on our website and our About section. So please check that out. And so now we're getting ready to start our presentations. So I'd like to welcome and invite Lucy Starry to join us for her presentation. Lucy, we're gonna make sure you're unmuted and ready to go.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to present on behalf of the 115 Club today. My name is Lucy Starry. I'm a nurse at Door County Medical Center, and I have served on the board of directors for the 115 Club since November of 2017. And before serving on the board, I had never even heard of the 115 Club, even though it's literally 4 blocks from my house. And what I now know about the 115 Club is that it saved my friend John's life when he found the community and support he needed when he decided to stop drinking alcohol and to stop letting his addiction control his life. I'm confident in saying that almost every one of you here today has in some way or another been affected by someone's addiction, whether it's a friend or a family member, a parent or a child. The statistics for substance abuse in the United States is astounding, and unfortunately, our quaint little slice of heaven here in Door County is not immune. So the 115 Club is an actual physical space located at 115 North 5th Avenue in Sturgeon Bay. The property was donated in the mid-70s by an individual to provide a safe environment for 12-step recovery programs. The 115 Club is the only entity in Door County that offers a 12-step meeting 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And in that way, we feel like we really play a vital role in promoting the health and wellness of our community. Our meeting attendance last year, the club served approximately 1,060 women and 2,155 men. At our peak, pre-COVID, in numbers back in 2019, I believe our meeting attendance was up to 6,000. And that number reflects primarily residents of Door County, but also visitors to our county. Our clubhouse has had a negative reputation in the past, but in the last several years, an impassioned board of directors made up of both community members and AA members, we have worked hard to create a positive image and a safe place for anyone in recovery. Our AA members and NA members serve this community by basically being on call 24/7. They meet with people who are in crisis in both our jail system and our hospital. We have a board member who attends weekly meetings and is a liaison for Judge Weber's drug court. And it's important to differentiate the difference between the 115 Club and we're a separate entity from AA. 12-step programs are considered, they need to be self-supporting and they are not allowed to do any kind of fundraising. So that is one of their traditions. So the 115 Club is the nonprofit that supports the recovery community. And sometimes that concept is a little bit blurred. Any funds we receive from donors helps the 115 Club support AA, NA, Al-Anon, adult children of alcoholics, and SMART recovery groups. A few years ago, we received several private donations that helped us update our indoor meeting space. We also learned, thanks to COVID, the importance of the virtual meeting. So these funds allowed us to install high-tech audiovisual equipment to allow all meetings to take place both in person and virtually. Another 12-step tradition is to pass the basket. And because of COVID and the increase in virtual meetings, the groups have not been able to support the clubhouse as much as they used to. So the United Way has been a lifesaver by making the 115 Club a strategic partner. Their grant helped us keep our doors open during the pandemic. We have a vision for the 115 Club to offer so much more to this community. It's almost impossible to find sober activities. So how would a donation from the 100+ Women's Group help us? Well, we have an amazing indoor meeting space, although our HVAC system is almost shot. We have a great outdoor space that could use some love. And we currently have plans drawn up and contractors in place to enhance the backyard of the clubhouse, to create an outdoor space that we need to host sober events, to have a fun, safe place for people to hang out. We'd like to host picnics, live music, game nights, outdoor movies, community garden. We want to put in a fire pit and a covered picnic pavilion. And we already hold outdoor meetings, but we would love to have the space to invite speakers. And we really need to let our community know that this is not an exclusive club. Although AA, NA, and Al-Anon members are the ones who primarily use this space, it's meant to be for our community, and we want to promote this. So thank you once again for the opportunity. I hope you've learned about yet another amazing resource that Door County has to offer. And on a personal note, I'm very happy to say that a week ago, my friend John celebrated 4 years of sobriety. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lucy. So up next is going to be Lori Chapman, and she is both a representative of the 115 Club as well as 100 Women Who Care member. So mentioned up front, we're going to take questions via chat. If you please type your chat questions in, Natalie is going to be monitoring that, and she will read those out loud. And if we don't get questions come in, I've got some backup questions, but we definitely like to hear from members more than we'd like to hear from me. So don't be shy, everyone. Let the questions go. I'll go ahead and start while people get up their nerve to go ahead and type into the chat function. So Lori, I see that the 115 Club logo references the new 115 Club. What is the significance of that?
Part of it had to do with, we have a Facebook page and it was not being utilized at all. So when we tried to update it, we couldn't because of the past administrator that was on it. So we had to open a new Facebook page. So we called it the new 115 Club. But also because it references, again, Lucy had said that the 115 Club did have a pretty bad reputation at one time. It was where people went to get drunk or went to get high or whatever. That is not the case anymore at all. You're not even allowed to smoke on the grounds anymore, at least in the front yard. So it's just, the new is to bring new life to the club itself.
Okay, very good. And I think we've got some questions that came in
We
to the
do.
chat.
All right, I have a question from Gloria. How do you get folks to Sturgeon Lake at the meetings, and do you have meetings throughout Door County?
Well, the 115 Club itself is open for the AA meetings, the Al-Anon meetings, the NA meetings, and that. It's really not up to us. It's up to those looking for recovery. So there is a meeting twice a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year for AA. So if you go on a website looking for an AA meeting, it will direct you to the 115 Club. If you know somebody in recovery, they can bring you. If you just go to the club itself, there's actually a list of people that you can call that would meet you there if you needed a meeting. Al-Anon holds meetings there on Saturday mornings, as well as using our Zoom.
Excellent.
I hope that answers your question.
I have one more, or a couple more for you. One from Maureen. How do you determine your numbers of people that you serve? How do you count that?
That is an excellent question, because the whole base of AA and NA meetings is anonymity. So fortunately, half of our board actually attends meetings, so they keep track of how many people are attending. Now, when we give you numbers like pre-COVID, 6,000 people attending meetings, some of those people are attending meetings the same person every single day. So yes, keep that in mind. However, if they didn't have that meeting every single day, they couldn't stay sober or they couldn't stay clean. So sometimes we, have to guess on numbers as far as like, well, what about people from Washington Island? Because we do have some people from Washington Island that use the services. We have people in California that use the services. But it's more like we don't know their names, but we do know where they come from.
Great. I have a question from Brenda. How do visitors to our county find out about this facility?
Visitors find out by Googling AA meetings in Door County, and it brings them directly to us. We actually have, and so full disclosure here, Lucy's story about her friend John is actually my husband, who celebrated his 4-year anniversary last week. Even though he tried to stop drinking a little over 5 years ago, but he's got 4 years in. But he now has friends from all over the country that when these people come here to vacation in Door County, they have their summer homes here, and that they can't wait to get to the 115 Club. I mean, it's like a family unit for those, in recovery. And my husband travels for work and goes all over. In fact, we're on our way to Toledo tomorrow, and it's great because he can still Zoom in to his meetings at his home group, is what they call it. back
Sorry,
here.
with that we're at our 5 minutes, so gonna have to cut us off there. But
Thank
thank
you.
you both very much. And just a
Thank
reminder to please go back on mute.
Well, thank you
and
all
turn
very
off the
much.
Video.
Thank you.
Thank you. And so with that, I would like to introduce the next group. So it's Right on Door County. We're delighted to have Ann Heisey speak. In fact, she's a delegated speaker for Janice Falk, who could not be here this evening. So a great use of the delegated speaker function. So don't forget that, everyone. And with that, Ann, if you could please unmute yourself and turn your video on, or maybe Natalie might have to help.
Yeah, same message came to me that the host has to start my video.
Natalie, can you do that for us, please? All right, there we are. So with that, Ann, go. Yes,
Great.
we can.
Great, thank you. So I'm Ann Heisey, and I am delighted to come with news about Right on Door County. I have been a volunteer. I've taught a few classes for them, and I have been on the board. So I love the organization. I'm glad to talk about it tonight. So thank you. Right On is located in Juddville, right off of 42 on Juddville Road. And it's important to know you are welcome there. There is a lovely center that we want to encourage creativity. So there's a fireplace with comfortable chairs. There's books on the shelves that inspire creativity. There's tables to write at. There's a cup of coffee ready for you. So people are welcome to come and think reading and writing and warmth and creativity. So you are welcome there. In addition, the community is welcome to walk the trail that has been made through the property, through the land behind the center. And the community is also welcome there. It's a half-mile trail, so it's great for children and families. There are beautiful benches to sit on the trail. It winds through a beautiful birch forest and then back down through an aspen grove. And we've created hike and write booklets. So, and they're just in a kiosk right behind the center. And so you can grab one of those, and there are writing prompts, so it's a great place to just take a walk and be creative and use these booklets to just enjoy nature and be creative. So once again, you're welcome to come, and we'd really like the community to know it's a space that we encourage people to come to. Right On does two things primarily. First off, it offers programs about writing, all levels of comfort. So maybe you're just beginning to write a little bit, maybe you're ready to publish a book, maybe you're young, maybe you're old, all levels of writing, all ages, lots of programs and workshops and conferences. So check out Right On Door County's website for listings of those classes. And I have to say that a few years ago, I taught a memoir class, mostly for seniors. And it was wonderful. You know, when you ask people to tell their stories and, you know, ask them about their childhood or ask them about their first job or the first woman that they loved, and people write these stories down, and it connects us to them. You can connect to people through stories, and that is a wonderful thing for our community to have those connections. The second thing Right On does is it offers residencies for writers. So people from all around the country have come. About 300 writers have come to stay in the house and write in the last few years. And because of that, there are books in the world. Right On Door County gave them that space to do that. But in addition, those writers have gone into our schools. They've gone into SCAND, they've gone into the hospital and the jail, and help people heal through writing, help people grow through writing. And so it's what a wonderful thing that our community has been enriched by these writers that have come and stayed at that house. Tonight's award, though, would go to youth programming, and that is something that's really near and dear to my heart. I was a English teacher for years, and I believe in the power of words in young people's lives. Most kids don't really see themselves as unique or special or not sure what they can offer the world, but they have stories. And, you dig a little bit and you get them to write about the time they fell through the ice and swam out, or the fact that their family raises goats or a peacock, and maybe one of our kids is bilingual and she doesn't know that that's kind of unique. And so when they tell those stories and they realize that they have something to say to the world, it's empowering, and it gives them self-confidence, and that is a wonderful thing for our kids. The money that this grant would go to in particular is for a writing conference that's coming up in the 1st of March. So that money would be great. And so join me in voting for Right on Door County. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne. Perfect timing. So please go ahead and start putting your questions to the chat. And while everyone's doing that, I will go ahead and introduce Jared. Jared Santek is the Artistic Director of Right on Door County, and we're delighted to have him here this evening. Jared, are you unmuted? There you go, and we can see you. Fantastic.
All right, well, I'll kick it off. So I actually had a question, but it rolls into Susan's question too. So I wanted to learn, can you tell us a little more about this, youth conference coming up this year, and where is the conference, was Susan's question.
Yes, the conference is going to be held in Sturgeon Bay, mostly at Sturgeon Bay High School, possibly some sessions at NWTC. It's half a day on Friday, March 18th, and then full day Saturday, March 19th.
Excellent. How much does it cost for a student to join the conference? Are you offering scholarships?
We are offering scholarships. The full conference tuition is $150. We do have a Saturday only option for $90, but we are very interested in making this available to any young person who would like to attend, especially from Door County schools. We have been doing outreach to the administrators and English and art teachers at all of the Door County schools, encouraging them to submit nominations of students who should receive scholarships.
Excellent. Waiting on a couple other questions to come in. Feel free to ask, everyone. I'll ask a question because I've been to the Writing Center. When can people come see you at the Writing Center? When are the hours?
Our official hours are 10 to 3 every day, except for Tuesday, though the truth is staff is there on Tuesday and people come in anyway. So we love to see you. So essentially 7 days a week, 10 to 3, sometimes on weekends, like the weekend of the conference, staff are going to be down in Sturgeon Bay. So unless we have volunteers to cover the center, it will be closed.
Thank you. Who else has a question?
I'll ask one in the meanwhile. Jared, what is your organizational structure in terms of paid staff versus volunteers?
We are currently a 3-person staff. There's myself, I'm the artistic director. Lauren Ward joined our staff in June of 2019 as our managing director. And then this September, we hired a marketing and community outreach coordinator. So Lauren and I are both salaried employees. The marketing and community outreach coordinator is an hourly position.
And approximately how many volunteers do you typically have? It's probably over the course of a year.
We have about 25.
And can you tell us a little more about where your funding comes from?
Yes, our funding comes primarily from individual donors. 68% of our overall revenue comes from donations, 27% is in earned revenue, and then about 5% comes from sponsorships and grants.
Great, and I have another question that came in from Cindy. What types of skills, classes will be offered at the youth conference?
Yeah, we're really excited about the variety of programming that's going to be offered at the conference. And I want to say, like, this is not a sit at your desk and listen to a teacher. It's a very hands-on, very interactive learning in poetry, creating plays, writing for online games, journalism, songwriting. So it's a wide variety by some really outstanding writers from throughout the upper Midwest who are coming to serve as our faculty.
Excellent. And when was Right On founded? When did it start?
We started kind of as an idea in 2011, 2012 with a group of people who lived here in Door County talking about getting something going for writing. And then in 2013, we were given a gift of property to get the organization started. I moved here in September of 2013 to start the organization. And in January of 2014, we got our nonprofit status.
Great.
That our 5 minutes is up. So thank you both to Jared and Ann. We appreciate you coming and presenting this evening.
Thank you.
So we'll move on to our last presenter, which is Deb Davis from the Sue Baldwin Fund. And Deb has patiently been waiting in the hat and was finally drawn last quarter. So we were all excited about that.
Do video.
And we can see Deb. So if you'd like to go ahead and get started, we're ready.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Deb, and I'm a board member of the Sue Baldwin Fund. And I'm here this evening because, first of all, as Ann said, we finally got chosen. And secondly, I'd like you to know a little bit more about what we do. Our mission is to support breast cancer awareness, screening, treatment, and care for Door and Kewaunee County residents who have an economic need. Some of those needs are, but definitely not limited to, mortgage, car payments, insurance, alternative treatment plans, which could include something like acupuncture, and assisting with medical bills, which in the county is a little bit unusual that someone actually can help with medical bills. Through 2021, we have distributed $163,000, and roughly 55% of that has been for medical bills. I can't begin to tell you what a relief that is for so many families when they're actually getting some financial help. Another area of great concern is the emotional well-being of our survivors. I guess you would call it mental health. We sponsored a very well-attended support group in Northern Door pre-COVID, and we had great reaction from both our survivors and the therapist, who is a local therapist, but because of COVID, needless to say, we had to end those in-person therapy sessions. But please know that as soon as this epidemic is done, this pandemic is done, we absolutely plan to be back there doing that again. We also have sent people to Infinite Boundary Retreat for breast cancer recovery. But to be honest, some women can't leave their homes, or some women just simply do not want to leave their homes. So we knew we had to approach this from a little different angle so we could get more people locally. We didn't want to lose this part of our program, and here are two reasons why. Two of many reasons why. I spoke with a young mom who was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she had at the time a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 6-year-old. And her concern was not that she was going to go through treatment. Her concern was even not what would happen to her long term. Her concern was her 2-year-old wouldn't remember her. And I also have a friend who is the same age as I am, who is has been in recovery for a long time. And you know how it is when we get to this age and we have those little aches and pains? She wakes up every day, and if she has those aches and pains, which we all experience, she is fearful that her cancer is back. These are the things we want to try to make better. So here is what we are doing. And we're using our award money from all of you, the 100+ women who care, to make this happen. Pilot program of Zoom workshops facilitated by local art therapist Jody Rose Gonzalez will start next week. And here it is what is written about the art therapy specifically for breast cancer survivors. Research demonstrates that art therapy improves quality of life among women undergoing treatment for breast cancer and among survivors. Studies also demonstrate improvements concerning body image and coping with treatment side effects. So here's what they'll be doing. Participants will use creativity, art journal prompts, wellness exercises, and discussion for healing, connection, and community building. Here's how Jody describes her workshop. I guide people into the darkness so that they can overcome their interior obstacles and live with more joy and fulfillment. Did you know that as soon as someone is diagnosed with cancer, they become a survivor? I guess at the Sue Baldwin Fund, what we really intend to do is to make that survival a little bit easier. Thank you for helping us in this process.
Thank you very much, Deb. So everyone get your questions ready. Same format, type them into chat, and we will have Carrie. It looks like Carrie, we can see her. Great, and she's unmuted. So welcome to Carrie. She is the founder and the president of the Sue Baldwin Fund. Do we have a question for Carrie?
Still waiting on some coming in. Why don't you lead while people type in the chat?
So what is your organizational structure in terms of paid staff versus volunteers?
We don't have any paid staff. Everyone that is part of our team is a volunteer. So we currently have a board of 7, a very strong board with all different abilities and walks of life. And that's what we're working with. So any of the money that we bring in is strictly for our applicants, not anyone that's paid on our staff.
Great, I have a question from Gloria. Do you work with the Door County Medical Center, the Cancer Center?
Yes, actually we do. Nancy Davis, who is in charge of, I don't want to be quoted on this, but quality, invited us to meet with all of the individuals that are part of the financial team of the hospital. And so we were able to get the word out about the Sue Baldwin Fund just to add an extra boost to making sure that applicants knew that there was another option should they need that. And they have been an amazing driving force in helping us get our name out. That's kind of one of our biggest, I don't want to say problems, but one of the biggest things that we try to get across to people.
Great. I have a question from Sarah. What is the cost for art therapy for each survivor?
I believe what we're doing is that it's between 6 to 8 people, and it's a 6 to 8 week course on Zoom. And I want to say it was around $1,200.
Great. And a question from Sue, where is the art therapy taking place?
It's going to be on Zoom. So everyone will be able to do that out of the privacy of their own home.
Great. Do you connect with the Healing Project? Question from Allie.
We do, actually. Chris Miller, who is one of our board members, is beyond resourceful up in Door County and has been really helpful working with applicants. I mean, obviously, if it's not something that we'll do as much as we possibly can, but also it's important for us to also provide resources for these women to know other options that are out there, what other resources they can tap into. I mean, one of the things with us doing medical is a lot different. We work a lot with door cancer. We really have done everything possible to get our name out and to be sure that the word is spread.
Great. Another question from Sue. Who was Sue Baldwin?
My mom is Sue Baldwin. And when my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, my mom's a widow. I lost my dad when I was 4, and she never remarried. And when she was diagnosed with breast cancer, as you can imagine, I was devastated. I was 20 years old. And at her 10-year remission of breast cancer, I decided I wanted to do something and to honor her. And so I started the Sue Baldwin Fund, which I thought would just be like a one-time little thing. And that was in 2007. And we're still going strong, and it's amazing. It's absolutely wonderful. And then my mom also was diagnosed the second time with breast cancer in 2010. And today she's still kicking and sassy as ever. So that's who this is. She's the reason why I started this.
That's great.
We have time for one more quick question.
One more. Okay, I have a question from Molly. Do you offer a mentorship program for survivors to connect with those newly diagnosed?
Can she expand on that question more? I'm sorry.
I don't know. That's all I have from Molly. If there's some kind of connection for, survivors.
Oh, yeah.
People.
I'm sorry. We do. Yes, we do. We absolutely do. We're very confidential about our applicants and things like that, but some of them actually are very close friends of mine, unfortunately. And so I do at times reach out if we have a new applicant, and I'll reach out to some of the girls and ask if they would be willing to communicate with them. And again, everything is kept very private. But yes, for someone to mentor them. And again, I would do anything to be back and have their support group back together, because I know that was such a blessing for all of them.
Great, thank you.
Okay, perfect timing with that. Our 5 minutes is up. The timer's going off here. So thank you very much to both Carrie and to Deb and to all of our presenters. So with that, it's exciting. We're doing our live voting for the first time. So it's time to vote. And Natalie is helping us out a ton by putting the link to voting in the chat. So you can click on that link and go straight to vote. Also, you can go to the website, 100WWC.doorcounty.org, go to meetings and then ballot, and you can place your vote. And just a friendly reminder that it's just one vote per team. So make sure just your team captains are doing that voting. And with that, we're ready to turn it over to Ann M for the business update.
Hello, I'm going to start my video here and we'll get started. Okay, so first of all, we wanted to let you know that the 100 Who Care Alliance is having a leadership conference, and a few of us are planning on going. That's in Nashville, April 21st to the 23rd. If this sounds like something of interest to you and you want to get more involved in leadership, I think it's pretty much open to anybody. We pay our own way is how we cover those costs. So if you're interested, just let us know. And then we wanted to talk about the leadership team a little bit. So a big shout out and thank you to Gloria Heck. Gloria has been helping us pretty much from the beginning, right, Gloria? I think she's been on the board of directors the last couple of years, and you've seen her friendly face coordinating the registration and the giving circle. And she's also been our membership chair. So she's done a lot for us and helped us get some of that infrastructure in place. And she is going to step off the board at this time and continue to be a member of the 100 Women. So if you see her around, please thank her for all her hard work. We really appreciate it, Gloria. And now we have Gretchen Courtney. She's going to be our Giving Circle coordinator. And I know Gretchen and Gloria have already met to start making that transition. And Beth Bauer is going to do our membership administration. So thank you to both of you. And we would like to welcome Susie Cotter to the board of directors. She's joined us just in January. And a lot of you know her from the social committee. And she's just a friendly face and has lots of great ideas. And we're looking forward to working with her on the board. So welcome, Susie. And for the marketing and PR and web team, we wanted to let you know that the web team, we're folding that under the marketing team, which is led by Paula Latta. And the web team, I have Lana Billiard and Eileen Pounds who are helping us with the web team now. So that's really great. And also Lisa O'Hearn has joined the social media group. So thank you all. It takes a team. So thank you all for your help. And if you are ever interested in getting more involved, let us know. So as opportunities come up, if we know what you're interested in, we can reach out to you. And we wanted to remind you that we do have a member directory now. And it's private, it's confidential, it's for personal use only, for just current members only. And you can sign up for that by going to the About page on our website and learn more about that. Okay, so after tonight's award, we'll have awarded over $264,000 to 35 Door County nonprofits since we began in July of 2018. I'm really excited. So thank you, everybody. Great job. You guys are making this happen. Well done. And thank you for, just your continued support of the county, the Door County community and all that you do outside of the 100 Women to help raise it up. So tonight's donations were estimated about $24,000. And I was thinking about that, another 10 members, we'd be raising about $100,000 a year. That we weren't thinking about those numbers when we first started, but it's pretty exciting. And ways to increase our impact, referrals. We have a lot of referrals. So please, thank you for spreading the word and all of that you've done to spread the word. That's great. And also if your company does matching contributions, keep us in mind. That would be wonderful. And if you want to contribute more and you're on a team, and just reach out to us, we can work with you on different opportunities as far as that goes as well. And the next slide is my favorite slide. It's a button slide. This is on the main page of our homepage of our website. So 3 great buttons. If you know somebody that wants to join, refer them to this page and they can click the Join Us button. And we have the Nominate a Nonprofit button, really easy to do. Encourage you to nominate. And then also the Donate button takes us to the link so you can pay by credit card if you'd like. This slide shows a comparison for the fourth quarter for the last 4 years, where we were at the end of each of the last 4 years. And the big takeaway from this is that we've doubled our membership and equivalents in the last 4 years. So that's really exciting. And it looks like I forgot to fix my slide here. So that's totally my fault about the little red circle not being perfect there. Anyway, as you can see with this comparison, it breaks it down by types of memberships. So we have increased our members by 36, but we've actually increased our equivalents by 40. And which is a big number. At 40 equivalents, that translates to $4,000 a quarter and $16,000 a year. So that's really worth celebrating. So well done. Yeah, lots of clapping going on here. And our next slide shows us all the new members since our October Giving Circle. So take a scan at this and see if you see anybody that you know. So you can reach out to them and welcome them aboard. And we'll get to meet people in person, hopefully at our April meeting. Okay, with that, I'm going to turn it over to Susie Cotter.
All set?
Yep, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. I'm Susie Cotter, and tonight I'm speaking on behalf of our social leadership team. And the pictures you see here was from our December event, which we entitled Warm Hands, Warm Hearts. We had almost 90 attendees, both members and some guests of members who were wanting to know more about 100+ Women Who Care. So hopefully they'll be new members soon. And we gathered at Horseshoe Bay Country Club for a really lovely evening of festiveness, holiday cheer, and conversation, and yummy food. It also was, and most importantly, was an evening of donations. We'd like to extend a big thank you and a huge round of applause to all of you who were able to join in this event. Together, we received in donations hundreds and hundreds of mittens, gloves, hats, scarves. A lot of these were homemade by people, which was amazing. And they were donated to the Boys and Girls Club of Door County and the YMCA's after school program. We just want to thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Susie, for coordinating that event and your team. It was a fantastic event. What a wonderful evening. I just have a couple quick slides to give a status update on nonprofits. So this quarter, we are at 16 nonprofits in the hat, and which is the same as where we were last quarter when we got together in October. So 3 nonprofits, of course, were pulled from the hat, and then we had 3 more added. So that kept our net at 16. And I will also report that that does include our first renomination, which is the Boys and Girls Club. So they were our very first MEAN Award winner back in July of 2018. So they were renominated and went through the vetting process, and they're now back in the hat and eligible to be drawn again. So excited that that's now starting to kick in. So the next slide, we haven't shown this one for a while, but that would be good to bring this one up. So this shows the average age of the nonprofits in the hat. So when we looked at this back in fourth quarter of 2021, this basically means that the average nonprofit had waited 378 days before they were pulled to present. And so happy to see that number go down a little bit. And that's actually thanks to the Sue Baldwin Fund, because they had waited so long that it lowered the average. So now it's just basically under a year, 343 days. And there is one, Neighbor to Neighbor is the next one that's been in there quite a while. And so as soon as that one gets selected, we'll see that drop even more. So we look at this as a board every quarter, and we do keep an eye on it. So I wanted to share this information with everyone. And the next one, and the fun one, is nominate a nonprofit. So find your voice. This is such a fantastic, wonderful way to support the nonprofits that you care about. Not only is the monetary award great, but it's just great in terms of raising awareness for the nonprofit. It's a great way to spread that awareness and save them time that otherwise they would spend on fundraising. So it's really easy. And Natalie put in the chat function a link to nominate a nonprofit. And just as a reminder, if you're a little nervous to actually do the presentation, you can always find a fellow 100 Women Who Care member and use the delegated speaker function. So with that, we're actually ready to introduce the next speaker, which is Karen. Karen, are you muted and video?
I'm having trouble again with the video.
No problem. I think Natalie can
Start my
help you out.
video. There we go. Yep.
Oh, there she is. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So, so Karen is the Community Relations Director and Education Coordinator, and Northern Door Children's Center was the main award winner in July of 2020. So she did a Zoom presentation along with Cindy when we first presented. So we welcome her back to give a short update on how the award money was used and what's going on at Northern Door Children's Center. So with that, Karen, please go ahead.
Thank you. First of all, thank you all so much. We really, really appreciated being the recipient of the money. And I'll give you a little update. One of the things that we were desperately in need of at that time was a new HVAC unit for our 3 and 4K classes. And what's interesting about the unit we had there, which we're not sure was ever quite installed correctly, but periodically the ceiling would fill with water, and then water would burst out of the tiles and flood the kitchen and between the 2 classrooms. So it was problematic. Not having circulation was a problem because with COVID, we're not allowed to use fans in the classrooms because they blow germs around, and we're trying to keep everyone healthy. So getting a new air conditioning and heating unit was huge for us. And so we were able to use a good portion of the money donated by 100+ Women to accomplish that. And that was very exciting for us. We absolutely love having a new HVAC unit that actually works. One of the other things that we've used some of the money for too is to cover some of our COVID related expenses. One of the things we've done for the last several years is parents are not, actually no one outside of this staff is allowed to come into the building because of our 5 and unders are not able to be vaccinated. So we're trying to keep everyone as healthy as possible. So what that entails then is that in the morning, 4 staff members are designated, and in the afternoons and early evening, 4 staff members have to be designated to communicate with parents by text. They let us know when they're coming, then when they're here, and there's someone who has to operate the text phones and the walkie-talkies, and then we need staff members to go and get the children, get them ready, and bring them to their parents. So basically at a time when we're really short on staff anyway, then we're having to designate additional staff for this particular thing. Most of the administrative staff spends 2 hours in the morning and 2.5 hours in the evening doing that, to making sure that the children are getting to their parents and getting in the door in the morning and doing it safely. So that has also helped us to be able to cover some of those expenses. So at a time when we really, really needed those funds, they were there, and we just can't say thank you enough. We really, really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Karen. We know that you and Cindy have been incredibly busy, so we appreciate you taking the time to join our meeting and give us that update. So
thank you.
So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Ann, Morgan, and Natalie. We're switching the order just a little bit to give the ballot counters a little bit more time, since we're doing the ballot counting live time on Zoom. So we're going to go ahead and do the hat drawing. So these are the 16 names that I referenced in my charts. And I believe Natalie's going to be pulling out of the hat.
Yes, I am. Hi, everyone. Taking over Ann's spot here. All right, so I am going to draw 3 names. Here we go in the hat. Number 1, I have Unity Hospice is our first drawing. Number 2, Friends of Ephraim Gibraltar Airport. And one more. Let's see. Public Arts Initiative of Egg Harbor. Those are 3: Unity Hospice, Friends of Ephraim Gibraltar Airport, and Public Arts Initiative of Egg Harbor. Very exciting.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Natalie.
Here's my mouse. Okay, yes, I'm busy counting. Thank you, Natalie, for your help. Appreciate that. We're doing this real time, so hang with me, everybody. And we are going to, everybody pause for 1 second here, okay? We'll have it very shortly, not to leave you in suspense or anything, but we're almost there. Okay, All right. Tonight's awards, the main award will be about $12,000 and the runners up about $6,000 each. And so with that, the main award goes to the Sue Baldwin Fund. So congratulations, and congratulations to all of you. Well done, everybody. Thank you very much. As a reminder to everybody, here are the payment options. You can send a check or you can put in, use the donation link. And continuing on, our next meeting is going to be April 25th. We'll definitely pay attention to what's going on with the pandemic, but we're really hoping that we can be live inside at the Crest Pavilion. And we will also continue to live stream. And okay, here's a quote from Mr. Fred Rogers. It's not so much what we have in this life that matters, it's what we do with what we have. All right, that's all for now, everybody. Stay well and stay warm, and we'll see you in April.